was going to say good morning. Oh, it's not noon. Google says 11. The dash still says noon. Supposed to set the clock back last night. I figured the car would do it on its own. Maybe it will. So today, we're taking a ride with the E-pedal, single pedal drive off. We got to use accelerator, pedal, and brake. That way we put some wear on the brakes. A lot of people complain when they go to use their brakes on their electric vehicle. Later on, they don't work that good, and that's because you're not using them. They get glazed over. So every once in a while, you need to drive like a regular car. You need to use your brakes. So that's what we're doing. I got to remember to hit the brake pedal. So, well, these tracks, one thing I thought they'd fix summer or fall. It's like Norfolk Southern's not as good as Conrail was as fixing the crossings. And that one's worse going the other way. A lot worse in the van. So we got, we set the timer to charge from like 11 p.m. till 5 a.m. last night, and then I brought my phone and charged it by the bedside so I can keep track of, you know. And it didn't cut off at 5 o'clock, but, you know, the clock in here says noon, so I'm not sure why. Let's see. Well, 5:30 maybe. Maybe it would have cut off at 5:30. Maybe I don't know exact time I was down there. But I went at 6.5 hours. So I thought I went down around 5:30, a little bit later. But the clock didn't look like it reset. So. And it looks like it just went right, 89%. 6.5 hours is like the normal charge on the NEMA 1450 plug, and we're at 4.98 cents a kilowatt hour, and it took a little over 43, so it came out to $2.14 from the meter in the breaker box, and that's how much we used from the circuits, not what went into the car. But the charger is built into the car. It's just a unit. Hooks to the 240 volts. Now we were too tired to use our new FLIR camera, the thermal imaging or whatever, to see the temperature changes and stuff. So we might buy a fire, smoke detector to put above the breaker box and where the car plugs in the attached garage. And a stickler on that. I got them all over the house, and I replace them every once in a while. So we've got a fire and smoke alarm over the dryer, and another one in the dining room, and then smoke alarms throughout. And I think the CO2 monitors in my room because I'm directly over the furnace. So we did gauge the radiation meter in here, and there's nothing. So we need to do that with the ICE vehicles we have and see what kind of electrical magnetic interference or output that's coming out from the wiring in a regular car. So I started off in drive mode, and I remember by the time I got downtown to stick it in the B mode for more regeneration while not using the single pedal drive. Yeah, you just got to remember to use the brake pedal. So when you are using single pedal drive, sometimes you'll come down to an intersection and you've got the speed, or there's enough of an incline and the car's not going to stop. So be ready for that. You got to use your brake pedal. Still windy. was showing 66 degrees from being parked in the garage overnight, it looks like. And Google was 68. Now they're both agreed at 68 degrees. And the end of the first week of November. So really nice weather. It's just too windy to take the drone out, and these clouds and stuff just remind you of, like, winter is coming, or it's just left. So the end of the trip, we might go by the Blink Charger again once in Salem, since we're headed that way. They said end of August when I called in June about it. So there's something holding up these chargers. At Advanced Dermatology in Salem, at the Ultium LG General Motors battery production plant in Lordstown. They've been sitting there for at least 6 months, and there's no power. So it would be cool, I mean, if you're going to take a trip somewhere and you just your car wasn't charged enough or something, you stop at one of these places close to home. But as it is, you can get up, you plan on going somewhere and do an hour or two as slow as I am getting ready, and then hit a supercharger somewhere along the way. So we did do the one North Canton Friday, and the wife got in a hurry. It turns out when I got home it was free. So I'm gonna have to do that stuff by myself, it looks like. Can't beat free, and even if you pay so far, it's not a lot of money. Wow, big motorhome. Tractors, a lot of them gone, or maybe put inside for the winter there. I ran them over Thursday evening. He just kept running over the leaves with this large Cub Cadet, and it didn't have to use the lawn sweeper or anything, and they pretty much disappear and turn into fertilizer in the lawn. Learned that from my neighbors. No mulching blades or anything. There's 3 blades in a large deck. So the wind, the rain, the last 2 days, most of the leaves on their oak trees are down, so I can either go out today, tomorrow, or in the next few days and make what might be the final pass for the leaves this fall without using a lawn sweeper. And I didn't cut from the shed on the backyard to the front yard, and I need to do the hill before winter. And I'll use the electric lawnmower for that. Still driving 10 and 2 and crossing the line. 10 and 2 o'clock is for pre-airbag cars. They want your hands low. 9 and 3 o'clock. The maximum or low, because when the airbag comes out, it's going to throw your arms up in the air. And the airbags have been out for what, 30 years more. So the Nissan Leaf right now, we're in B mode, and that's more regeneration when you slow down. the engine that propels the car turns into a car charger. And then when you have single pedal drive on, you're at the maximum for that. Drive until we get a little bit of wear on the brakes, and then we'll go back to single pedal drive. So who knows, it might be a few days this week. Now, if you want to know how to program your car to go to e-pedal, single pedal drive full time, I did a video on it maybe 3-4 months ago, so you can scroll through and see that. You can also go see the 1,000-mile trip we did through West Virginia with the car down to North Carolina, and we got some whiteboard stuff on the car too. So today we hope to go down. We'll probably take the old United States Post Office airmail roundabout here at the end of the road. This road ends on US 30, the Lincoln Highway, which runs from Oregon to Times Square in New York. And then the next line, like I said, above me is US 62, where we live, and that runs from El Paso to Niagara Falls. So if you just stay on the road, you don't even need a map, GPS, or anything if you follow the signs to travel across country from where we live. So I said in an earlier video a few weeks ago that, I hadn't been down here. I remember the red and white guardrails from my childhood. And they were still here when I took my sailboat down here in 2008 to bring it to the lake that summer and park it. Well, they're gone. They were, just one of those things from childhood that really marked this stretch of the road, and they replaced them. So I like being out in the woods this time of year, but, not with the hunters and stuff. And you kind of trust them less and less. It's part of the old age thing. You trust young people less and less, but I don't have it as bad as most people. The people that went through basic training the last years in the Air Force had it way tougher than we did. So I think this is the road. You can see there's a high point up there where they'd put an airway beacon. There is a book called Flying the Beam, so when I get, maybe this winter I'll order that book. So this is Beacon Light Road. And you can see the high point right up there. And we're going to go around to the end of the road. So I was thinking, oh, nice pulling. At first, wow. First there had to be a runway, and then no, there's no runway. The runway would be Columbiana County Airport and Akron Canton Regional Airport, and the rest are just beacons. So coming and going, they know which way to go. Wow, this guy's says he's got a firing range. Do not enter. Across the street has a bunch of ranges that are just abandoned with stovetops. Holy crap, there's a bunch of junkyards here. So climbing top of the hill, the map shows it's on the right a little bit, so it could be. It just would have been concrete arrows that were painted fluorescent. You had a tower with a beacon light on there. You got a generator shack and a big tank to run the diesel fuel generator that powered the place. So we're going to look in the old phone books. So here's the peak of the road. So, private home on the right, and there's a veterinarian here on the left. And I stopped in there and gave him the sheet with the map on it. So, the next one is past Georgetown Road. And then the one south is at the Columbiana County Airport. And I think there's one on Ohio Route 44 or 43. So, Beacon Light Road. And the people there, oh, we never knew what it was named for. And said, I never knew it was here. It's not a road I normally come to. My parents did. And at the end of the road we lived on, there was a sign that told you how far Reno and New York City was. Wow, that's a big gas right away going through. They did have a fire down this way years ago where a pipeline burst, and you could see the flames all the way to our house. It just lit up the sky. Been scarier for the people living here than it was for us. Alright, we're going to take a little break and I'll turn you back on so we got two parts and stuff.